unions that have been established during the last quinquennium. We have 2 union conferences, the Southwestern Philippine Union Conference, effective December 31, 2023, and Mid-Ghana Union Conference, effective January 1, 2025. And we have 9 union missions, the South Sudan Union Mission, effective October 10, 2023, Northern Luzon Philippine Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, Southern Luzon Philippine Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, Southeastern Philippine Union Mission, effective December 31, 2023, North Central Ghana Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, Northeast Cameroon Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, West Central Cameroon Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, Costa Rica Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025, and Nicaragua Union Mission, effective January 1, 2025. This vote makes the unions official members of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists and gives them the right to participate with their delegates in this session. We are voting them now so that those delegates can immediately fully participate in the session. And you will see the list of those delegates listed on the agenda, the general agenda, items 111 to 116. Pastor Chair, I would like to move the acceptance into the sisterhood of the unions of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the new and reorganized union conferences and union missions. I move it.
Thank you. It has been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. It's a great joy to receive new unions into the sisterhood, isn't it?
Amen.
Are you ready to vote for it?
Amen.
Okay, let's go to the election body and we will vote the motion that is on the screens. Every motion that we will vote upon will be on the screen so that you can read and know exactly what we are voting for. So are we ready?
Mr. Chairman, we are in the process of opening it, and it should be open here in a second. I guess election buddy needs to get used to doing this as well.
If
It
the
is open, Mr. Chairman.
Is open. Okay, now let's open again our election bodies on your screens. You have the motion and the options to vote yes and no. Please vote and then push the button continue and then don't forget to submit it. And while we are waiting, we will have some musical tones and you have the chance to stand up so that the blood would circulate and you would be healthy. Don't be shy to stand up while we are waiting. There are still people trying to vote, so we will give you 40 more seconds. It will not take us as much time in the future because people will get more accustomed. But it looks like there are several dozens of people who are still in the process. All right, probably now we can close the vote and see the results. And then Elder Wilson can congratulate the new unions.
Closed. It's closed.
It is closed now.
Results will be up here.
It's hard to believe that someone will vote no, right? All right. We have a very strong support, and someone just tried the system.
Well, let's ask all the new unions that have just been voted, all delegates from the new unions that have just been voted, let us stand so we can see you. Welcome to the wonderful family of God as an official union. May God bless you as you participate in this session.
Pastor Chair, as a way of ensuring that the proper protocol is followed, I move that Todd McFarland of the Office of General Counsel be appointed as parliamentarian of this session. I move it.
All right, it has been moved. Is there a second?
Again.
I hear a number of seconds. Are you ready to vote? Looks like you are ready. Let us proceed to the election body and vote. And hopefully we will be able to do it in 2 minutes.
All right, Mr. Chairman. It's open.
All right, now it is open. Please don't forget to vote and then to submit as well. All right, there are still 120 people are in the process of voting. We will still give a few seconds for them to finish the voting process. All right, we can close the vote, and we will see the results momentarily.
It's closed.
All right, it is closed, and here you see the results. And let me introduce to you Todd. You know, he is on my right. And then also I would like to introduce the secretary, so Samuel, and also Nicole, who is our recording secretary. They are here to correct my shortcomings. So thank you very much for helping me. All right, let's move on.
Pastor Chair, to accomplish our agenda and to give everyone the opportunity to be heard but not have any one person or persons dominating the discussion, I would like to suggest that we limit speeches to 2 minutes per speech or 3 minutes per speech if it is translated. Pastor Chair, I so move.
All right, it has been moved and seconded. Any questions or observations? Seeing none, I will ask you to vote, and this action requires 2/3 of the vote. And so let's proceed and use our election body. Is the vote open?
It is, Mr. Chairman.
All right, it is open. Let us vote. And please don't forget to push the button submit. All right, we will close the vote. And see the results. Okay, the vote is closed. Now we will see the results. Here you have the results. It's clearly more than 2/3. It is taken care of. I see someone wants to speak on the microphone number 1 from TED, Ingrid. Wingard.
Yes, I'm Ingrid Wijngaard. I'm surprised that this motion was about the limitation of speaking rights and that there is no room for discussion.
Thank you very much. We, as you know, a large gathering, thousands of people, and in order to provide an opportunity for everyone who wants to speak, we have voted that everyone has a right 2 minutes of speech, and if you need a translation, 3 minutes. If we would not do it, we would limit it only to those who like to speak very long, and then the rest. So we have to kind of protect the opportunity for everyone who wishes to speak to speak. I see someone else wants to speak on microphone 11. Leroy Chacon, if I pronounce it correctly, from Texica Conference, NAD.
Thank you very much. I'm having difficulty with the voting process. It's just that I've been trying to vote for the last 2 times and I have not been able to.
All right, thank you very much. So we have at every division section someone who can provide help. So please, in the NAD area, if you could help with the election body for the person that just spoke. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a point of order on microphone number 2, Baltic Union Conference. Janusz Janari Kogerman.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We have encountered the same issue what was mentioned before, so I really would like to ask you to extend the period of voting from 2 minutes to a little bit longer, so when the system logs us out, we do have enough time to log in back in again. Thank you.
All right, it is fair enough. We will try to follow your advice. All right, we can proceed. We have on microphone number 10, Timothy Standish.
Thank you, Brother Chairman. I think that there was a misunderstanding of the point that Sister Ingrid was trying to raise. The way I understood it, at least, was that she was desiring some discussion of this before the vote, and it wasn't available. So I think it was a point of order. Thank you.
Thank you for advising the chair and educating him. We will try to follow your advice. Next item.
Pastor Chair, 3 standing committees are planned for work during this General Conference session. They can be found on page 25 and 26, and they are the Steering Committee. You can see the names on the screen. The Church Manual Committee. You can also see the names on the screen now. And the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. The names are also on the screen. The members of these committees are recommended by the General Conference Administrative Committee. The Church Manual Committee and the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, with representation from each division, have been functioning throughout the past 3 years. These 2 committees will meet during the session as needed in connection with discussions of agenda items. Pastor Chair, I move that we approve the standing committees as listed on pages 24 to 26 of our agenda for this General Conference session. I move it.
All right, it has been moved and seconded. Any questions or observations? Well, seeing none, I would like to ask you to proceed and vote. Let us again use the election body, and we will give you more time this time for using the election body. There is a point of order on microphone number 10. Timothy?
Thank you, Brother Chairman. I apologize, but you are moving too fast to use this system. There needs to be appropriate amounts of time for people to raise points of order or comment on the vote. In this particular case, I would like to object to the makeup of these committees for two reasons. Number one, there is a tremendous amount of the same few people being on each of these committees. And what that does is concentrate a huge amount of power and influence in a very few people. And the second observation I would make is that these committees are not representative of the delegates whom we have here, the makeup of this group. Those who are making decisions about how we proceed should be representative of the group that is going to move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. For the fact that I am moving very fast, I'm following our, logo. I will go. And when I go to the Gospel of Matthew, the good news, the ladies were, all right, when the good news was given to the ladies to bring to the disciples, they were running, right? And so, forgive me if I'm so fast, but we need to run if you want to have, dinner on time today. But I will try to provide you more kind of space and move a little bit slower. All right, on microphone number 4, we have from WAD, Joseph. Hola.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to correct the House. When you stand up to say on point of order, it means the House was out of order. We have never been out of order because the agenda on the floor is what we are discussing. If you want to talk, you can say on point of information. I think that is the procedure that we Adventists follow according to Robert Rule of Order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We now move to microphone number 5. Oh, microphone number 2, sorry. From Central Papua Conference, SPD, Rosemary Benjamin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I would like some clarity on the order of the general agenda, because it seems that from the official call to order, we've gone to appointment, the new mission. We've accepted the new union missions, and then we're now going to the steering committee, and I feel that we're not following that order. So please, can you give us some clarity on this? I noticed that we're jumping from one agenda to the other, and we're not following the general agenda, so.
All right, thank you very much for this question. Hensley, you might help me, but what we have the agenda, and it is not in the order that we follow, because for the opening of the session, we need to take a number of actions so that we can proceed. This is why we take them first. But probably in order to help you so that you know what to expect, we could ask Hensley to give you maybe at the beginning of the session an idea what and how we will follow. But thank you for this, not now, but tomorrow morning maybe you can give how we will follow. Thank you very much. All right, we have a number of people who wish to speak. We have on microphone number 5, Emily Banda from SID.
Thank you very much, Pastor Chair. I just wanted to add my voice on the issue of point of information to say, from the names that you presented, it seems you just lumped up the names, and wanted to propose that maybe you can put a name and where they are coming from, so that this being a world church, we know how we are being represented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So what we have a name and then also the organization you represent. If more information is desired, we will see if it is possible to present it as quickly as they appear on the screen. All right, we have next speaker is microphone number 10 from South American Division, Nestor Fernando Ladeta Almachi.
Thank you, Pastor. Estoy mirando que en la estructura del comité sí es necesario que intentando
All right, let us hear the translation.
que la obra de mirar los beneficios del manual sea lo mejor hecho posible, pero...
Un momento.
Okay.
We need to make sure that the manual and the way we're treating the manual is the correct way.
Existe gente especializada, naturalmente, en conocimiento del manual, pero los pastores distritales a veces miramos en el manual algunas declaraciones e instrucciones que en la práctica no nos ayudan.
There are a few people that are very specialized in the manual and all the things that the manual say, but some of the district pastors, sometimes we don't understand very well what the manual is saying.
Entonces creo que es necesario que al menos quienes estamos en la trinchera, por así decirlo, estemos presentes para que se pueda ver la parte práctica en el trabajo de campo y estas conclusiones del manual de iglesia sean útiles para el trabajo pastoral, porque a veces desde la parte técnica está, pero en la parte práctica nos complica la vida.
So I think it would be interesting to have some of the district pastors, the ones that are in the front line many times, because the technical areas sometimes are a little bit out of what we understand, and I think a representation from us would be very important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your point is well taken. We have, again, microphone number 1, Ingrid from TD.
And now, Chair, I have a point of order, a really point of order. Are we in the agenda already? Have the agenda been presented, and are we in the agenda already? Because
No,
I'm confused.
No, the agenda has not been presented yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we were about to vote, and we actually opened the vote already. Not yet? Okay, then let's open the vote and let us vote. And we will let us give more time, as it was requested, for the vote. You have the motion on the screen. So it is open now. Let us try to vote. We have increased the time now, but it looks like there are still 80 people trying to vote. So let's give a little bit more time in addition. All right, we can close now the vote and see the result. So, all right, the vote is closed. Here you see the results. 1753 votes supported it. Thank you very much. And we have a point of order, microphone number 12. Wendy Engelman from EUD.
Good afternoon, Chairman. I don't know which area this falls under, but if it's possible to change the background photo of Washington, D.C. We are a world church in a world church meeting, and this is a bit distracting.
Thank you very much. We will see what our technical people can do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move to the next item. Elder Köhler.
Pastor Chair, as previously announced by email, the General Conference session materials related to the business of the session are available electronically and are posted on the session website at gcsession.org. The program guide, and I'm now talking just about the program guide, contains the schedule of activities during the days to follow. And Pastor Chair, I move that we adopt this daily program for this General Conference session. I move it.
All right. It has been moved. The daily program has been moved. Is there a second? Seconded. Any questions or observations? Well, I'm seeing on the screen no one wishes to speak. Are you ready to vote? You are silent. How should I interpret it? Should I move or should I run? Run? Thank you. Okay. Then let us proceed and vote. Let us use the election body. And while we are voting, I just was instructed, our technical people told us that at the background they will show many cities that represent all the divisions. Okay, the vote is open. Let us vote.
while we're voting, I just want to let you know we have received reports that you have to re-enter your credentials. We are working with Election Buddy on that, so we will give you more time. But if there is, I see one person at the mic, we'll take that after the vote. But if the credentialing issue where you have to re-enter your credentials each time, we are working on that and we are aware of that. So please be advised. Thank you.
Don't forget to push the button submit, because some people vote but don't submit the vote. There are still some people trying to vote, the system shows. And so we will give you a few more seconds. All right, we are closing now the vote. It is closed. Now we will see the results shortly. Here you see the results. 1984 yes and 23 no. Thank you very much. Now we have a number of people who are lining up at the mics. So we have no motion on the floor yet. So let's see what you would like to talk about. Microphone number 8, Joel Pascuas Dusan from East Los Llanos Conference, EID.
Thank you very much. I'm just considering that this motion to adopt the daily program, we received it before. So if we received it before, why to vote now? What will happen if the majority will say no to the daily program because we received that before? I think it would be voted before the starting program. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But if someone moves to get rid of lunch, for example, and the majority votes, then we will take it out. All right, we have a next speaker on microphone number 1, Greater Sydney Conference SPD, Sean S. Chickland.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just in relation to Election Buddy, if you come to log in your details, if you hit the back arrow key to go back and just wait a little and then hit the orange box again, it should take you to the voting page. So just to let delegates know. And it works for Apple and Android.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping us. Really appreciate it. Next speaker is So Greater Sydney Conference was already, right? Now we have microphone 10, Timothy Standish.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a point of order that also relates to the voting. In the rules of order, it says voting shall be by means as specified by the chair. I would note that you have not designated this particular method using election buddy as the means that must be used, and also that there are a number of other options that are faster and more transparent than election buddy that are available to us. Further, we've all been provided with voting cards. I know that I cannot make a motion when doing a point of order. However, I would suggest that we stop using this particular method until there is a need for anonymous voting. Everything has been a very one-sided vote so far. Can we please go with a voice vote as we go forward on the non-controversial issues? Thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. As you know, before the session, we had a training seminars with all delegations. And they all got acquainted with the election body, and it was announced this will be the main voting method. And we decided to do it in the beginning so that you would get accustomed. But we will not always use the election body. As you have correctly suggested, sometimes the card will be much faster on non-controversial items. So thank you for your advice. All right, let's move to the next item.
Talking about our agenda now, our agenda is organized in 4 sections. Number 1, the general agenda in items numbered 100 on pages 15 and 16. The second is constitutional and bylaws agenda, items numbered 200 on page 17. The third one is nominations agenda, items numbered 300 on page 18. And the church manual agenda in items number 400 on page 19, 20, and 21. Pastor Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as listed in the General Conference session materials.
Thank you very much. It was moved and seconded, and the motion is on the screen. So I'm not repeating the motion because it is always on the screen. We have a number of those wishing to speak. Microphone number 2, Sharon Hall, South Australian Conference, SPD, please.
Dear Chair, respected Elder Wilson and brethren, yes, I'm Sharon Hall. I'm a layperson from the South Australian Conference. The church manual on page 30 states that the General Conference in session, that's us, is recognised as the voice of the church. And we understand that the General Conference Executive Committee has prepared this agenda on behalf of the delegates for this session. However, there are pressing global issues that have hindered our mission and unity as a church, as a world church, that are not on the agenda that's been presented. Therefore, I move to adopt the agenda of the General Conference session with the following amendments and conditions. Postpone the consideration of the Constitution and Bylaws agenda, the Church Manual agenda and the General agenda items 124 to 128 until July 11. Limit the cumulative time for receiving reports, excluding the auditor's opinion and certification, to 1 hour per day from July 4 to July 11, 2025. Allocate the first 30 minutes of each business session starting July 4, 2025 to debate and adopt a daily agenda, which may be interrupted only for the election of officers proposed by the nominating committees. If the daily agenda is completed before 5 p.m, delegates may vote to add additional items to that day's agenda. The direct session support committees to select and implement a rank polling software, for example Slido, Poll Everywhere or Mentimeter, for ranking daily agenda item requests to help facilitate the adoption of the daily agenda with the goal of full operation by July 6. Do not allow the General Conference Corporation members meeting to interrupt the work of the General Conference session. The reason I make this motion is so that important issues such as how our relationships with non-Adventist entities such as the UN are managed, the validity of any official statement not voted by a General Conference session, and our participation in ecumenical councils, so these could be addressed.
Thank you very much. Before I ask if there is a second, a number of items that you have mentioned really correspond to the daily program that has been already voted and approved by this body. So if you would like to make an amendment on and include some other things, we would invite you to proceed to the first row here to Tammy so that she can type it and everyone could see the exact wording of the amendment that you would like to suggest. That would be very helpful. And this really is related only to the agenda now, not to the daily program. And while we are waiting for that, we probably will proceed and go to another microphone. And as soon as Secretariat is ready, let us know and then we come back, right? Now, while we are waiting, I need to ask the 3 people waiting in line, if you would like to make a motion or something, amend, then we have to wait till we finish with this one. But if you would like just to have a remark, then I would like for you to speak right now. So let me see, microphone number 1, we have 2 people. Would you like to make a general statement or to move something else?
Yes, I want to make a general statement.
Then go ahead, please.
I had also had an amendment on the agenda, but I realize, and I think the body does that too, that with adopting the daily program, we have locked in the agenda. Chair, TMI is listening and hearing, listening to the Holy Spirit and to each other, not only listening to the noise they make, but foremost hearing the content. That is true involvement, the mighty united body of believers who speaks and are being heard. And I would like to appeal to the body and also to the president, to the chair, to the parliamentarian, that we ought to hear what people are saying. We ought to hear their heart cry, because we want total member involvement. I've been to Romania on a total member involvement mission. We want to have mission, but we cannot have mission if we don't hear, if we don't listen to the Holy Spirit and to the people of this church. That's my general remark.
Thank you, Ingrid. And this is a very helpful and serious remark. We all would like to encourage each other to be open for God's guidance and hear His voice. Thank you for reminding us. You ready with the text? Okay, we are still working on the wording of the amendment. While we are waiting, on microphone number 1, Nicholas, is it a general remark or would you like to make another motion?
It is a general remark.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was going to speak in favor of the suggested agenda, but I also wish to speak in favor of mindful sequencing of the agenda. The steering committee is full of wise and very experienced leaders, and I wonder if they could estimate which items are likely to spark a lot of discussion and debate, like some specific church manual policy items, and bring them up first thing in the morning when we delegates are well rested, equipped with a clear mind and full of energy. And on the other hand, they could estimate which items are not likely to require too much of an active engagement and bring them up late in the afternoon when we delegates are not feeling too active anymore. I wonder if that would be reasonable and possible, so we could facilitate engagement and the highest quality discussions possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. I think there is a lot of wisdom in what you were saying. And the steering committees that will meet every morning will really pay attention to your advice so that we have the heavy items when most of the people are awake. The only problem is the time difference for all of you is such that some are awake in the afternoon and some are sleeping in the morning and other way around. But we will try to do our best. But there is a lot of wisdom in what you have said. Thank you very much. All right, microphone number 12. Is it a general remark or would you like to move something?
This would be a motion
Then-
to amend the agenda.
Then let us wait till we finish with the first one. Let's go to Julian Filipov from NAD, Ohio Conference. Is it general remark or would you like to make a motion?
Motion.
Okay, let's wait then. Let's see if we are ready with the first motion. Amendment. Okay, let's hear some music while we are waiting then.
Just in a form of explanation, it takes a significant amount of time for the folks in Secretariat to put this in and then to get it, because everyone wants to see this on the screen and the ballot, especially when it's read. So just please enjoy Dr. Logan as we get that worked, and please bear with us. Thank you.
While we are waiting, let us stand so that the blood would start circulating and we will get enough oxygen to our brains. All right, let us come to order. It looks like we have the wording that was worked out. Let's see the wording on the screen. All right, now we will ask, let's read it probably so that you all understand what is happening, especially for those who are translating. We need to give a little time. Motion to amend the agenda to allocate the first 30 minutes of each business session starting July 4 to debate and adopt the daily agenda, which may be interrupted only for the election of officers proposed by the nominating committee. If the daily agenda is completed before 5 p.m., delegates may vote to add additional items to that day's agenda. Now, looking at this motion, it doesn't look germane to the main motion that we are discussing. It is actually related to the daily program. And as such, I need to rule it out of order. I will ask our parliamentarian to explain, maybe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the limits on amendments to a motion is it has to be germane or related to the item that is before the body. If you watched our 23-minute and 45-second video in the orientation sessions, we actually went over a scenario on that. And so I advised the chair, and he chose to accept that this is not a germane motion, because what it does is it simply lays out times of stuff and limits for motions that come up. A motion to add an agenda item would be one that we could either vote up and down, not related to time. So, Mr. Chairman, I hope that gives some explanation.
Thank you very much. Let's go to microphone number 12, Alfred Suara, EUD.
Oh, did he call your name? Sorry, is it?
Because she was before me in the queue, but I can speak.
All right, let's see, because something probably happened. I have it only one person now on the screen.
Oh.
So we lost someone, right?
Yes. I moved a motion that the General Conference adopts a policy establishing an upper age limit for individuals serving in elected leadership positions, such as the General Conference, division, union, or at the conference level.
All right, I just got a message that people who were in line before got deleted. Now they will be returned back, and we will follow the order, because there were two speakers before, and then you will be the next one. Is it okay?
Sure.
Was it Tiffany who was the first?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Tiffany, please, North American Division, please make your motion.
All right. Yes, Mr. Chair, with all due respect and appreciation for the proposed agenda and those who put it together, I think that most of us would agree that there are a number of critical issues facing our global church family today which are not on the agenda. These issues affect us as members, as well as our unity as a body and our mission. The concern that I and many other members have is that the Holy Spirit be given room to speak through the delegates of this General Conference session in guiding our topics of discussion. We delegates, as the highest authoritative body in the church, have some significant items we would like to add to the agenda. Thus, I move to adopt the proposed agendas with the following amendments and conditions. Number one, let us set aside at least 3 full days of business sessions to address critical issues determined by the delegates. Number 2, let us allocate some time in the beginning of each of these sessions for delegate to seek God's guidance and to debate and adopt a daily agenda. If the daily agenda is completed before the end of the session, delegates may vote to add additional items. Number 3, let the session support committees choose and implement an app such as Slido, Poll Everywhere, or Mentimeter for ranking daily agenda item requests to help facilitate the adoption of the daily agenda. And number 4, let us limit the cumulative time for receiving reports and other possible interruptions during those 3 or more days. I do not claim to know all of the significant issues we are currently facing as a worldwide church, but I trust that we as a body of delegates will be able to come to those conclusions through prayer, discussion, and voting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With all the respect to the items you have mentioned, but actually all of them are dealing with the daily program again. And so I cannot accept any here motion because you are not adding, let's say, a particular point that you would like to discuss. If you would say, I would like to add, and then say what to the agenda, this would be then what I would be able to accept. Then also I was told that people who have been in line need to again check in, so to speak, so that we have you, in order to restore the previous order, right? Those who have scanned before Tiffany, please scan again and come to the mic so that we don't lose your... Okay. Microphone number 12, we have from Ohio Conference, Julian Filipov, NID.
Mr. Chair, I move to add to the agenda a review and discussion of the 2015 General Conference AdCom statement encouraging immunization. Specifically, the claim that Adventist health message is grounded in peer-reviewed scientific literature, in addition to the Bible and the writing of Ellen White. This assertion merits careful examination as it appears in conflict with the fundamental beliefs. Belief 22 affirms that the Adventist health message is a matter of doctrine, while the introduction of our fundamental beliefs clearly states Seventh-day Adventists accept the Bible as their only creed, a position that is further affirmed in belief number 1, and then in belief 18, we affirm as the spirit of prophecy as a reference point for our beliefs. In light of all these principles, I respectfully urge that this issue be given a thoughtful and prayerful consideration. Otherwise, we are on our path to repeat history, and in particular, I'm thinking about the Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, who turned the tradition of people into holy tradition. Nowadays, our society is turning to scientism as our human tradition. Let's keep the Bible and the spirit of prophecy as a foundation of doctrine.
Julian, it would help if you would formulate your motion in one sentence, please.
The mic is on? Okay. I move to add to the agenda a review and discussion of the 2015 General Conference AdCom statement encouraging immunization. Specifically, its claim that the Adventist health message is grounded in peer-reviewed scientific literature in addition to the Bible and the writings of Ellen White.
All right, let me ask you if there is a second. There are seconds. And Julian, if you would be so kind and come up front here so that your motion can be typed. And since it is moved and seconded, let's understand now, especially to those who translate, we have a main motion. The main motion is to accept the agenda. Now what we are dealing with is an amendment to add another item. And we will discuss now not the main motion, but we will discuss now the amendment. And then we will vote on the amendment before we return to the main motion. Is that clear? All right. Yes. All right, now we can put on the screen Okay, if someone wants to speak to the amendment, now we're speaking only about the amendment. And I see two people are on, one person on the mic number 2, George Kenny from SPD, South Queensland Conference. Please, you have the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In light of the point that has already been stated about the highest authority of God's church being the voice of the General Conference with its delegates in session, I would like to amend the agenda to include the item to discuss the validity of any official statement not voted by a GC in session, as well as our relationship with non-Adventist entities and ecumenical councils, such as the UN. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we're discussing only the amendment. And what will really help us to see the amendment on the screen, so that you would really speak to it. We cannot accept now any other motions or amendments till we solve this one. You are ready? Okay. Okay, now we go to microphone number 10, Timothy Standish.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I actually had something to say, but then I see that it's being addressed. So I am finding that the system to remove your name from the list is not working. Furthermore, when you do scan, it initially says it doesn't know who you are. Then you scan again and suddenly it does. So I don't know if the problems with the system can be addressed in some way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will ask the technical people to look at the microphone number 10, what is happening there. We go now to Amir Al-Haddad, Delegate at Large, GC, microphone number 10.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am the Religious Liberty Director for the Southern Union Conference. And I'd like to just speak to the motion that's on the floor in regards to all that religious liberty has done in this church for our church members that is not being talked about when we talk about this amendment. I've been working on vaccine accommodation issues since 1995. That is 30 years as of this year. And even without a written statement, it was an unwritten understanding within the church that Adventism did not reject vaccines from a denominational standpoint. When the vaccine statement came out in 2016, it was made absolutely no impact on the accommodation results that flowed through my office. None whatsoever. Until the pandemic from 1995 until 2021, I had never had a vaccine accommodation refused. And during the pandemic, we only had 3 cases out of hundreds denied, and 2 of them were denied before they ever made it to my office. Since the development and the deployment of the vaccine in 2021, we've done almost over 300 cases alone. We have not turned our backs on any sincere religious objection from the church's point. We even continue to help people that we disagree with because religious liberty gives you the right to hold a different personal belief. We didn't stop doing that during the pandemic. My colleagues across the North American division didn't stop doing that, and we continue to do it even this week. If a church statement was all it took to resolve an issue, then everybody in this room would have a really good life.
Sorry, the time is out, but our translators are asking everyone who will speak to the amendment, if you could state very clearly, it will be easy for them to translate if you speak for the amendment or against it. So if you could just finish telling us.
Okay, yes. Even though we have a church doctrine on Sabbath accommodation, this doctrine doesn't keep our church members from having accommodation problems. And I don't think that changing this statement will have any impact on accommodation for vaccines. We've still had very good results. And if all it took was a statement from this church to be a predicator to the world's response, it is really only a good soundbite for those who have abandoned a spirit of unity in this church. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It looks like we have a point of order on microphone number 1. Ingrid.
GT Chair, I actually have 2 points of order. The speaker just now was out of time, but she was allowed to speak longer. And my second point of order is there was a lady in the back, a sister in the back, who raised a point, an amendment on the amendment. Was that not allowed? I think it was allowed. Please.
It has, you see, it has to be an amendment to the main motion. If she comes with an amendment to the main motion, we can take it, but only after we have taken care of this amendment.
The amendment, the main motion is the agenda, and there was an amendment. You put it on the screen just now, and she had an amendment on the amendment.
It was actually an amendment, as I understood it, to the main motion. If I'm not correct, I'm stand to be corrected.
She asked to add her points to the amendment. That's an amendment on the amendment.
I will ask the parliamentarian to explain it.
The ruling of the chair, in our understanding, was that she wanted to amend the agenda. It is true that secondary amendments are allowed, but her amendment didn't relate to the vaccine statement. It related to connections to the United Nations. So that's not related to the amendment. Therefore, once we process this amendment, she can come back to the microphone and once recognized, try to make another amendment to the agenda. But it was an amendment to the amendment because it wasn't related to the issue of vaccines. It was to the United Nations. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. We are now discussing the amendment, and I have 3 speakers who wishes to speak. Microphone number 1, Nicholas Rantanen, Trans-European Division.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm a layperson myself, and I speak in favor of a bottom-up organization where the regular members and the regular grassroots employees can bring forward good ideas and initiatives, and they are listened to and considered seriously. And I think the GC could do more to make available channels and processes more transparent. not only to explain how items can be sent towards the executive committee for consideration to be added on the agenda, but also to show at which step of the way certain initiatives were stopped and why. That could help us avoid these situations where complicated, intricate, and even controversial matters that are requiring careful study, consideration, and preparation are brought directly to the session. If there is no other channel, they come up here. So in the future, we could look into making the channels more visible and transparent. But in any case, and based on what I just said, I do speak against accepting the amendment, because the issue would need to be studied and prepared very thoroughly before placing it on the agenda. And same probably goes for any other amendments that we're about to hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Now we go to microphone number 10, Bangwata Sikwa Ramabu from GC Delegate at Large.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm very much in line with the speaker who just spoke now. I want to speak against this amendment on 2 points. The first point is what he has already stated, that something like this needs to be studied very hard before we can come and discuss it here. The second point is that according to our policies, the Executive Committee and the ADCOM, they have the authority to make decisions for the church in between sessions. Now, I'm troubled if we were to come to a situation whereby the decisions that are taken, we have to bring all of them back to the floor. I see us opening a dangerous door there, because at any point we may find ourselves needing to come to the General Conference to revise the decisions that were taken by those that we had said can take decisions for us in between the sessions. But having said that, I want to appreciate very much what he said as his preamble, the previous speaker, to say that possibly we need to revisit how we process a number of decisions to go all the way to the Executive Committee or the ADCOM, so that we run away from the risk of people feeling that they were not represented adequately. But I do speak against making this amendment now, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and both of you have been heard. And I think there is space for us to really make known the processes, how you could really get more involved. We have actually worked out a process and voted by the session for the fundamental beliefs. And something like this probably would be very helpful for church members and delegates to know ahead of time if they would like to raise something. But we have heard you and we will follow up on it. Thank you very much. The next speaker is microphone number 2, Georgia Kenny, South Queensland Conference, SPD.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify my prior statement. Forgive me for my lack of understanding of the protocols. I was intending to make an amendment to the issue on the floor about the vaccine statement and amend it that we not just include that one statement, although I think it is relevant, but give a broader view to the statements in general that were not voted at a general conference in session, in order that the delegates may give the voice to things that are stated under the beliefs of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But it goes much broader from beside the current amendment. So it would be much cleaner for us to solve this one before we go to another one. Don't you think so? All right. Elder Wilson wants to speak, please.
Thank you, Brother Chair, and I hope you can hear adequately. Some people have had little trouble hearing everything said, especially from the floor. I think a little bit of explanation for our delegates is in order, and this will certainly take more than 2 minutes. The challenge that we have faced with some of the items that have come up is that there has been a tremendous amount of misinformation circulated. Coming out of COVID-19, there were a lot of concerns and difficulties that people faced. And we sympathize with people. Some people lost jobs, some people lost their lives. I think we can all agree COVID-19 was a very difficult time. However, out of that particular setting, the General Conference issued a reaffirmation of the statement that was made in 2015. 2015 statement had nothing to do with COVID because we didn't know COVID existed. The statement and the way the amendment to the motion has been phrased would somehow indicate, and this is a highly misinformed view, I have to tell you, it in some way insinuates that the General Conference has now put science above or equal to the Bible and the spirit of prophecy. I have to tell you that is unequivocally false. We have never done that. In fact, let me read to you the actual portion. It's a very short statement in 2015, but I'll read a portion so that you will understand. The Seventh-day Adventist Church places strong emphasis on health and well-being. The Adventist health emphasis is based on the Bible, the inspired writings of church co-founder Ellen G. White. Now, that's what it's based on. It goes on to say, and is informed by peer-reviewed scientific health literature. In no way does the Seventh-day Adventist Church put scientific information, peer-reviewed scientific information, above the Bible or the spirit of prophecy or even equal to those. Absolutely not. The case in point about how peer-reviewed scientific literature informs us. Let's use the example recently, or in the last few decades, scientific information has indicated to us that a little bit of alcohol or wine would be good for your heart. Seventh-day Adventists have unequivocally disagreed with that because it does not connect properly with the Bible or the spirit of prophecy. Just recently, scientific literature has now come out saying no alcohol is good for you. We completely agree with that because it agrees with the Holy Word and the spirit of prophecy. Now, in that statement in 2015, certainly 3 times, if not 4 times implied, was that this was your choice. We advocated vaccinations. Many of us cannot travel around the world without vaccinations. Typhoid, cholera, yellow fever, whatever it might be. We simply reaffirmed in 2021 that the recommendations about vaccinations were in order. You know, unfortunately, some people have badly misled others to say that the church mandated that you had to have a vaccination. Completely false. All of these were simply recommendations. You can choose it or not. In the reaffirmation statement in 2021, 16 times in the document, it says it's your choice, essentially your choice. In fact, I will read to you what was put in all capital letters, block letters, in that reaffirmation of 2021. Unfortunately, many people who have twisted the wording, twisted the intent of the General Conference, never mentioned this. I don't know why. I'll read it to you. Capital letters, all capital letters. The decision to be immunized or not is the choice of each individual and should be taken in consultation with one's health care provider. Personal research on the subject is important. We ultimately rely on following biblical health practices and the spirit of prophecy, and following God's leading in our lives, which will bring us peace and assurance in our decision-making. The General Conference, the World Church, never mandated anything. Even at the General Conference headquarters, we asked our employees, either you take the vaccination or you get tested on a weekly basis and show the results to our health officials. In terms of a statement that the General Conference makes or different organizations, I have a long list of statements that have been made over many years by General Conference Executive Committee, by the Administrative Committee, by Spring Meeting, which is the Executive Committee, or Annual Council, which is the Executive Committee, as well as the Administrative Committee. The Executive Committee, as was pointed out by one of our delegates, and thank you for that, is the organization, the entity that cares for the church between General Conference sessions. The Executive Committee is the one that authorizes the Administrative Committee to do its work. Some people have said Administrative Committee has no right to make any statements. And yet, many statements have been made on a variety of subjects, not as mandates necessarily, not as the rule, but simply as an indication of our reaction to particular statements, particular topics. So the information that has been shared by some people has been erroneous. It has not been accurate. We attempted to try to answer some of those questions back in 2021, 2022. In fact, question and answers were provided, etc., for people. Unfortunately, people like to twist and misuse anything you say. In fact, it might even happen with what I'm saying now. So we stopped trying to explain. We instead focused on the mission of the church, on evangelism, on gaining everyone towards a particular goal that would enhance our magnificent message and not engage in debate with those, and I have to tell you, in my opinion, it is a very small minority of the church. In fact, for some of you here today, what is being presented may be news to you because you haven't even thought about it. My brothers and sisters, I would urge us not to be involved in conspiracy approaches, even to the point, it's almost unbelievable, that somehow the General Conference and the World Church is receiving instructions and is under the thumb or the direction of the United Nations. That, to me, is complete fallacy. We have no instructions from the United Nations. We have no directives. We have nothing. We are not in contact with the United Nations, except we have a representative that works with other non-government organizations to help in humanitarian areas, to help in health challenges, to help in religious liberty aspects. So my brothers and sisters, I think the record needed to be shared and set straight. We sympathize with those who have concerns, and you have the right to your opinion. But it is a very small minority of people within the 23+ million church members who have continued to agitate about erroneous and misleading information. So, Brother Chair, I really hope we can move ahead to not engage ourselves with these kinds of peripheral items which have already been taken place. And I want to thank you for providing me with the time to explain.
Thank you very much. We go now to microphone number 10, Anthony Bosman. Microphone number 10, Anthony Bosman.
Thank you. And I want to thank Elder Wilson for those clarifying remarks. I just want to speak to the content of this amendment by reading the opening paragraph of the chapter Science and the Bible in the book Education. Ellen White writes under inspiration, "Since the book of nature and the book of Revelation bear the impress of the same master mind, they cannot but speak in harmony. Science is ever discovering new wonders, but she brings from her research nothing that, rightly understood, conflicts with divine revelation. The book of nature and the written word shed light upon each other. They make us acquainted with God by teaching us something of the laws through which he works." I speak against the motion. It's appropriate that as we hold up Scripture as the supreme standard of truth, we also acknowledge how God has revealed truth through the sciences as much as it speaks in harmony with what he has revealed in Scripture. I speak against the motion, and I would like to call the question.
All right, the question has been called. Now we will, it's not debatable, and we will vote on the question to stop debate on the amendment. So if you vote yes, we will stop the amendment and move to the main motion. If you vote no, then we will continue debating the amendment. Is that clear? So we will vote on the question that has been called. If you vote yes, we will stop the discussion on the amendment and return to the main motion. I see a point of order on microphone number 1, Ingrid.
Initially there were 4 motions to amend the agenda. Because the first one was acknowledged, the other 3 was put in queue. What happens now with the 3 that has put in queue? When I made the point, I made the general remarks. You asked for general remarks because motions were not at that time feasible. I said I have a motion.
Thank you very much, Ingrid. We have only one amendment that we are discussing. Once we return to the main motion, then another amendments could be taken, but not now as we discuss this amendment. So a question has been called. I will ask you to vote. All those who would like all who like for the discussion to cease on the amendment, you vote yes. If you would like the discussion to continue, you vote no. And then we return to the main motion. Is that clear? So let's take the election body and vote on it.
So, Mr. Chairman, I have good news and bad news. We solved the problem of having to re-enter your credentials, but it means it'll take EB a little bit longer to open. It is now open. People may vote, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Let us proceed and vote. The vote is to call the previous question or to cease debate on the amendment. All right, we can finish the vote. It requires 2/3 to proceed. Let's see the results. All right, let's see the outcome of this vote. The vote was to cease the debate. Yeah, very clearly we have 2/3. Now we are going to vote on the actual amendment. So the amendment was to add an item to the agenda that was suggested as a main motion. If you would like the item to be included in the agenda, then you vote yes. If you would like to return to the agenda as it was suggested, as it is in our books, without adding this item, then you vote no. Is that clear? So again, I repeat, because our translators need more time. Now we are not voting on the main motion. We are voting on the amendment. If you would like the item of vaccination to be included in the agenda, you vote yes. If you would like to return to the main agenda without adding the vaccination issue, you vote no. Is that clear? Okay, let us proceed and vote on the amendment.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we are now opening up the ballot for the amendment. As the chair said, if you are in favor of adding this item to the agenda, vote yes. If you would like to retain the agenda as it was proposed and not add this, you vote no. And it is just taking it a second here. Again, this is related to so you don't have to re-enter your credentials.
Looks like the election body is also tired.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we're working on this. It's just taking a second.
All right, are you comfortable if we vote use the cards? Okay, please take your cards. I will give you a couple of seconds to really find the card.
It's open now. It's open.
Oh, it's open. Okay. You see, as soon as you threaten the election body, it starts working. All right. Let's vote. So please keep in mind, if you would like to add a new item on vaccination, you vote yes. If you would like to not to include and go to the main agenda, you vote no.
So just as we're voting, there's some people who are scanning in. Please be advised, once this vote is done, we will then load the queue that we stopped when we had the amendment. And so when that happens, you can scan in. But people scanning in right now, you'll have to scan in once this amendment is done. Thank you.
All right, let us finish the voting process and close the vote. All right, it is closed, and now we will see the results. So you see the result. Thank you very much. We are moving now to the main motion to approve the agenda as it was presented. Now, dear delegates, I need to ask you the following. Now it's 5:10 p.m. We still need to approve the agenda, and we need to vote the nominating committee. This is what we need to do. And so, will it be okay with you if we continue till 5:30? I hear some yeses, so thank you for your support. All right, I see a point of order on microphone number 12, Tiffany.
Yes, thank you. I would like to raise a point of order that my earlier motion was not correctly understood or responded to. I was not making a motion to change the daily schedule, but simply suggesting a specific way that some of our scheduled business sessions be structured. Specifically, I was asking for the agenda to be decided by the delegates on a daily basis for a minimum of 3 days during this whole GC session. And I made some suggestions of how that could be facilitated with a polling app and limitations on other less critical agenda items. This is to give room for the spirit to work. I would like to appeal the decision of the chair that my motion was out of order.
All right. You have the right to appeal. Now we will ask, before we go to our parliamentarian, I would like to ask if there is a second to appeal the decision of the chair. Seeing and hearing none, we will proceed. Microphone number 5. Oh, Number 10, thank you. Kimberly Ferreira, Andrews University.
Thank you. In the beginning, we saw that the majority of delegates here are here for the first time, which may mean that we are new to understanding the rules. I would like to make a motion to reconsider the motion of adopting the daily program or the daily schedule, because it seems that that has caused some challenges that have now arisen. And I also would like to ask for an understanding of the allotment of time that is permitted to delegates versus those on the platform.
Thank you very much, but what you have raised cannot be done through the point of order, because we have a line of speakers. Only if you would be in line, and when your time comes, then you can make this motion. We go to microphone number 5, Southern Asia Division, Victor Sinks.
Thank you, Brother Chair. The confusion that I'm having is, you see, the original order was about the agenda. And where do we find the agenda? Then came the amendment to the agenda, but we don't know where is the original agenda, which book, which app, where is the agenda found? I think the screen can be better used by our IT. Maybe on the left side of the screen, at least mention what is the original agenda, what happened to the agenda, where the call of order came, because people are getting lost here. After 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or half an hour, nobody knows what was the original point, where are we in this? So if the IT can amend the screen, at least on the left side, you put something there. On the right side, people who are talking or the motion can come, so people know where you are on the screen or where you are in half an hour or 1 hour.
Thank you very much. Actually, all the agenda and all the program was sent to every delegate. You can access it electronically through the app, through many other ways. But your suggestion to use the screens, we will see if it is possible, and we will ask the technical people to see to it. We have a point of order on microphone number 2. Robert Cismadia, Trans-European Division.
Thank you very much. I would like just to make a point of order that somebody else made in front of me a point of order. However, it was not scanned or it wouldn't put in line.
All right, thank you very much for helping the chair. We go now to microphone number 1, Ingrid Wingarde, TED.
Dear Chair, is it now my time to present an amendment on the main motion?
Yes.
Agenda? Okay, thank you. Dear Chair, this session is the question if it's still warranted that the church is the people and it's governed from bottom up. It's the question of this body of the world delegates in session has the highest authority and question. And the question is, does that authority begins with setting the agenda for its meetings, not merely accepting, but approving, and prioritizing more pressing matters, asking accountability for actions. Our church will not collapse if we postpone non-urgent revisions to the church manual and the bylaws. The session is that there is a need to specify what this body delegates to the General Conference administration to take care of between sessions. It's the question of if this, as the church, the first advocates of religious liberty in this nation, dares to stand for what is biblically correct. And if the fundamental belief on liberty of conscience, number 22, is the privilege of every member in this church. Based on these points, I present to you two related motions on the agenda. I want to move to add Pearl Parl to the agenda to report on the department's activities over the past 5 years. This body can guide the nominating committee in selecting new director and considering aspects of the last day offense. The director of PAL must be a body as a standing committee. And to accommodate this urgent topic, I move that the proposed agenda items be reviewed one by one and maybe postponed for more pressing matters. Thank you.
All right, you had a number of motions there. And for clarity, if someone makes a motion, we need a very short sentence so that everyone understands what is really moved. So if you could be so kind and work with the secretariat on the first row, how you would like to really formulate it.
Yeah, I think that what is more pressing to add to the agenda is the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department to report and about the activities in the past 5 years.
So please go to the first row and work with the secretariat how to formulate it. We have a point of order, microphone number 2, Baltic Union, Janos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My point of order is related with the behavior of some of the delegates after the voting results are shown. And I would like to ask you to remind the delegates that we are not for or against something which is voted. So maybe we can refrain applauding or booing after the voting results are shown according to our own preferences. Thank you.
Thank you, Janos. Your point is taken, and we will really try to refrain and not to confuse people when we upload or do it in an interesting way. Okay, microphone number 10, Timothy Standish. All right. Next, we will go to Alfred Zore, microphone 12. All right. So probably people already having dinner. Kimberly Ferreira, microphone number 10.
I think there's a backlog from when people were scanning in and out. So I learned from my last approach to the microphone. I'd like to make a motion to reconsider the motion to adopt the daily program.
We are now not accepting any motions because there is a motion on the floor, they're just formulating. Now we are accepting only remarks. Is it ready? All right. So we have now presented in written form the amendment, but before we discuss it, I need to ask, is there a second? I don't see any seconds. We return to the main motion to approve the agenda. Let me ask the body. Let me ask you, are you comfortable to continue the discussion, or would you like rather to vote on the main agenda? I hear many people saying so. If it's so, then I'm ready for a question. I see a point of order. Andrews University, Kimberly.
There are people saying second, so I'm not sure how you're not hearing them.
Well, I have not heard it from here. If you have heard it from there, then please advise me. Here it was not heard at all. If there was a second, then we accept it and we try to discuss the amendment then. So if someone wants to speak to the amendment, and the amendment is on the screen, right? You see it? Then you can speak now to the amendment. Those that are in line, are you wishing to speak to the amendment? If you wish to speak to the amendment, please scan in. Okay, I don't see anyone, then let's proceed. All right, let's go ahead and move on the microphone number 2, Sharon Hall. South Australian Conference SPD. Microphone number 2.
Thank you. Could we please have the amendment back so I can make sure I get my wording correct? Thank you.
Put the amendment back? Okay, there. Okay.
Okay, yes, I support, I suggest that this could be something that's always on the agenda. And I'd also like to just clarify something, that was said earlier about the 2015 statement, because it's not about immunisation or vaccination mandates. It's about whether having peer-reviewed scientific literature there is valid, because it says Bible, spirit of prophecy, and peer-reviewed scientific literature is what our health emphasis is based on, whereas our immunisation is not mentioned in the Bible and it's not mentioned in the spirit of prophecy. So there's only the peer-reviewed scientific literature left. So to make it clear that it's not about vaccinations, it's about whether peer-reviewed scientific literature should be can stand on its own for us, and just to clarify that we have these official statements on the official church website at adventist.org, and it's under beliefs. Official statements are under beliefs, so the outside world are confused about actually what our beliefs are, because that's listed there. So people were refused their religious exemptions because it was unclear to the outside employer that what we believe. So I'm happy that we're discussing these things as a church family, because families are not afraid to discuss their issues that are difficult sometimes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now concerning the amendment, those who are in line, are you wishing to speak to the amendment? Microphone number 9. Clinton Wallen.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I would like, with all kindness and respect for the people that have expressed their opinions, to move this session forward. I move that we move the previous question.
Thank you very much. The previous question is called, but it is on the amendment. And actually, a report on all the departments you can find in Adventist Review. For all the last quinquennium, it was a shorter one, but anyway, in Adventist Review, every department has published a report. And so now we vote on the previous question. If you vote yes, it means we cease the debate on the amendment. So let us vote. Do you have your card so that we speed up the process? If you would like, let's use our cards right now. Otherwise, it will be too long with the election body.
I don't know. All right.
Let's see if we can see. If you would like to stop the debate, please raise your cards. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Overwhelming. If you would like to continue or you are opposed to stop, please raise your cards. Yeah, we have clear majority, overwhelming majority. So now we are voting actually on the amendment. We stopped the debate. If you would like the amendment to proceed and be included in the agenda, you vote yes when you are called for. And if you would like just to return to the agenda as it was suggested, you vote no. And we will use again the cards. Those who would like to include this item that was suggested to the agenda, please raise your card. Thank you. Almost no cards. If you against it, you would like to return to the main agenda, please raise your cards. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, since we are so late, let me ask you the question. Would you like to continue the debate or would you rather like to vote on the agenda? Okay, let me take some maybe freedom here and ask you to vote on the agenda. All those who are in favor to accept the agenda as is given, please raise your cards. Thank you very much. Overwhelming. Those who would like to continue the discussion, raise your hands. Your cards, sorry. Thank you. It is taken care of. We have approved the agenda. And now we move to the last item of our agenda today.
Now, finally, we can move to the last portion of our procedural opening, presenting the names of those recommended to be the members of the session nominating committee. And I would like to invite Pastor Hensley Muruven, Under-Secretary of the General Conference, to present the composition of this committee.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ayrton, Elder Kohler. Dear delegates, I'm very happy to inform you that the 17 caucuses have met and they have recommended names in line with the Constitution and bylaws of the GC. And all these names from the 17 caucuses have been received. We have compiled one list in alphabetical order, and Mr. Chairman, I am here showing the delegates the list of the 277 delegates, members who will compose the nominating committee of the 2025 GC session. Mr. Chair, we don't expect the delegates to have developed the eyesight of an eagle overnight. We know that you cannot read all these names. That is why I invite you to go to your app. Under Documents, you will see that same list. So closer to you, you can read the names of the 277 members that is recommended, Mr. Chair, to be part of this nominating committee. Thank you.
So has it been moved?
I think Elder Kohler will make the motion. Thank you.
Pastor Chair, I would like to move the approval of the composition of the General Conference Session Nominating Committee as presented just now.
Thank you very much. Is there a second? I hear some seconds. As you know, every division has worked on it. a number of hours, and these are the suggestions that have come through the different caucuses of divisions and attached fields. Now, are you ready to vote on it? Okay, I will ask you to use your cards. All those who are in favor of this, to appoint this list for the nominating committee, please raise your ballots. Thank you very much, overwhelmingly. Thank you. Those who are against, please raise now your cards. Thank you for the strong, strong support. Thank you very much. Now,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
we have an announcement now for the 277 members who will compose the nominating committee. Please, I need your attention. Tomorrow morning, immediately after the worship, we will make a special announcement for you so you know where to go immediately after worship. We are not going to make this announcement today because of time, but immediately after worship tomorrow morning, you will be given clear instructions on where to go and what to do. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, I will ask you indulgence, those who would like still to speak, that we cease the discussion today. If you have any other questions, you can raise them tomorrow or the other day. But now, since the time is actually running out and dinner is ahead of us and at 6:30 the program starts here, we need to finish. And I'm really thankful for your understanding that we need to move. And we will ask our secretary, Samuel So, to have our concluding prayer, please. Let us stand as we pray.
Let us seek the Lord together. Gracious, loving Father in heaven, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your guidance. Thank you for leading us this far. Lord, we place all the decisions that we have made together collectively into your hands. As you move forward with agendas that are set before us, with the plans that we have, Lord, we ask that you will continue to lead us and guide us. Bless our meetings, bless our deliberations, bless our discussions. Make it according to your way for your glory and for your honor, for the advancement of your work and also for the hastening of your soon coming. We commit ourselves, our meetings, all into your hands for your glory and honor. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Are there some emergency announcements? No? Then we wish you a good appetite. Appetite.